just after World War I, and a second Saltair went up in the 1920s. While not as successful as the first Saltair, it was still pretty decent. That second Saltair burned down in two stages, one in 1967 and the other in 1970. And then this version came along. Interesting to note are these minarets that top Saltair. Basically, what Saltair is a concert venue. I don't think they'll let me inside, so this is as close as I can get. Why am I out here today? Well, I happen to have a rental car for the day, and I need to be out in Heber Valley by 3 for a 3:30 tourist train. But I thought I'd come out here at least once while I'm still living here. And now here I am at the Heber Valley Scenic Railroad at about 10 minutes to 2 on Saturday, September 21st. I know I'm wicked early for my 3:30 Deer Valley Express train, but at least I'm here. There's their steam locomotive number 300 just there. And there's some old-timey coaches, complete with clerestory roofs. A lovely... Is that a deep green or is that a black? I can't really tell from this distance, and with this sunlight, the way it's playing right now. Anyway, just to give you a good idea of what the station looks like from this side. Now I'm going to come over to the platform side. Yeah, it's a nice looking station building, all things considered. That's a GP9 they had on the point. Meanwhile, they had this classic Rio Grande coach, at least it's made to look like the classic Rio Grande livery, including the words Heber Valley in the action font. They used to call the Denver and Rio Grande Western the Action Road, or Road of Action, or whatever. Now they're trying to run it back to the front of the train, but they have to wait for exiting tourists to come on out before they can do so. Now he's coming out to set the points. Let's go down the rest of the consist for today. Got this coach here repainted to look like Denver and Rio Grande Western's yellow, silver, and black. Meanwhile, we've got 3 other coaches that look even older than that, you know, pre-Streamliner era. There's a regular old coach here, and we've got some kind of a combine car here, and another regular old coach right behind that. And off in the distance you can see the engine being run around back to the front of the train. Looks like they're bringing the locomotive back now. Just switched it on to this track here, the platform track, up ahead in the distance a little bit. So now we've finally begun boarding at about 3:15. And I love these string lights on the interior of the coach. There's a kind of charm to these lights as well, the regular coach lights, that is. Lastly, I'm told that the best views will be out of the left side windows, which I'm situated right next to. So this ought to be good. One thing I hadn't noticed about these older coaches is that they're 6-axle coaches. Then again, they are heavier than typical streamlined stock. Looks like we could get rainbow. Mind you, I said could. Check this out, guys. These are the kinds of views we're getting from this left-hand side of the train. They just talked about how they created a special platform during the 2002 Olympics, or I should say, in preparation for that. It's mostly all the skiing events. Remember, the Salt Lake City Games were winter games after all. I also noticed that our diesel, Heber Valley 5926, has a single chime horn. And we're slowing down. I think we're getting close to our objective. Or are we? I'll have to keep writing to find out. This is Deer Creek Reservoir. Okay. It's the reservoir that this train gets its name from. Just explaining a moment ago how they had to flood the original town of Charleston and across the lake that the reservoir made. That's Charleston, Utah today. Fascinating stuff. Had to move very few buildings because this was built just before the U.S. entered World War II, like the year before. I love how the local terrain interacts so well with the reservoir. Makes for amazing scenery that's totally worth filming. Love these rocky shores too. Water's just lapping on the rocks below. It is kind of a windy day. Well, not super windy, but there is a noticeable breeze. But seriously though, juxtaposing a lake with mountains is just perfect scenery, I think. So we've reached the end of our outbound leg, and we're going to be running the engine back around soon so that we can get on our return leg. This track you see on the left, that's the track they're using to turn the engine around. They've been running the engine short end forward. Now they'll be running long end forward. Why? Because they can. Yep, there it goes. Alright, so now we are well and truly heading back to Heber City. Still loving the scenery out here. Deer Creek Reservoir. I don't know how well you can see this, but the wind is blowing across the reservoir quite the other way, and it has actually started raining. So now these waters will be lapping on the opposite shore, because that's just how the wind and waves interact. So here's the lavender farm they were mentioning earlier. Ah, there goes the horn. And it is a single chime. Also, it stopped raining. Here's that farm with those Texas Longhorn cattle. There they are all the way in the back. And that, as they say, is that. That was their Deer Creek Express. Some lovely views up in the mountains. But then again, you'd expect that. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, do all the usual YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time.